of owning a cafe and other heroic deeds by Beware the Tostado, Chapter 111, A Better Future. Nezu had always been proud of his alma mater, from the diligence of its staff to the vast grounds and revolutionary technological breakthroughs. What wasn't there to love? And now, as the principal, he was even more pleased to see his beloved school growing, thriving, and pushing the young people in its care to be the very best they could be. Furthermore, the dorm system had been a huge success. It brought all 4 of the specialized classes that they currently ran together. The students were mixing. More projects across the varied groups of talented young people were burgeoning. They were starting to value what everyone brought to the metaphorical table instead of the hero students looking down on the other subjects and the kids in those other subjects similarly holding the future pros in contempt. Adopting Shouta-kun's more open-minded policies when it came to inclusion was one of the best decisions that he'd made so far. The younger man was right, of course. Quirkless or not, physically developed or not, academic or not, everyone should be given the opportunity to be the best they could be. And that, he'd silently vowed to himself, was what he'd set out to provide. Otherwise, he stood to lose the dark-haired cafe owner's vital support, which could mean he might suggest to the delightful group of young people whom studied at the Northern Echo that they venture elsewhere for their future education. Oh, not on his watch! This is, you don't know that you're cackling out loud, right? Blinking, he jerkily swiveled his head to Koji-san, who was staring at him bewilderedly alongside a cheekily grinning Denki and Ditoshi, who were sat between them. Under their combined observation, he rubbed the back of his neck sheepishly, his white furred cheeks blushing. Sorry, he chuckled. It's just been such a good day, hasn't it? It makes me so hopeful for an even better, brighter future, you know. Natsuo at first had been shocked. Nezu has really been looking forward to having more people his age at the dorms, you know? Oh, and there's so many cool things he'll have access to. Then he'd been elated. The embrace that his mother offered him one of the best things he'd ever experienced. And the teachers are super nice. Plus, you can decorate your room any way you want. Keiko-senpai has a hammock. Rumi-ni has a treadmill weightlifting thingy. Ryuko-ni has a chair swing. And Nezu-kun has an amazing video game setup. He likes to practice so he can beat Nami-senpai because, well, there's no way anyone, not even him, could beat Nomura-ni and Spinner-ni. However, as always, any affection he received was sure to be dampened by Shoto. Shoto, whom he loved, of course. He was his little brother, but everyone always praised and fawned over him because he was special. Fuyumi, being the only girl, also got attention when she needed it, and Toya, or Dabi, as he was known now, had come back from the dead. Literally. How was he supposed to compete with that? Which got me and Tama-kun thinking a whole bunch about you, you know? Blinking, Natsuo regarded the blonde to his right, his brows rising. Me? Why? Natsuo-kun, I think what he means is this has all got to be jarring for you, right? Tilting his head to the left, the quieter, indigo-haired boy gave him a small little wobbly smile. I don't know. What do you like? He tried, his shoulders hunching a little heap. No one had ever really asked him that before. What should he say? It'd sound weird, still did, to say that he didn't know, wouldn't it? I like soba, he managed, and my tutors say I'm proficient in math. I can play the cello to graded level 7. He continued, his brows furrowed. Our access to the internet was pretty basic. We could only log on to study sites and things. He struggled. And the only TV we could watch were things to do with him. He furthered, a heavy sigh leaving him. So, as lame as it sounds, I don't think I really know what I like, really. He finished, his tone a little dejected as he examined his hands. Wow, gee, weren't they interesting? Man, that is so cool! Snapping his head up, the older of the 3 sat in the back of the minibus. Bonked at Mario. I mean, not the whole your dad is a dumpster fire thing, obviously, but, you know, because you have so many great things to discover about life, about yourself, and we, if you'll let us, well, we'd we'll get to be there not only to see it, but to recommend things to you. The blue-eyed boy veritably chirped. Wait, what? Oh, this is beyond exciting. Just you wait until we all go to the Northern Echo tomorrow. Cat Dad is going to want to feed you everything to see what you like. Feeling his cheeks heat up some more, Nezu tried his best not to faint, yet the other boy, both boys wanted to help him? I'm between us junior cafe leaguers. We have like all different genres of manga and games. And oh my gosh! We need to teach you how to play Uno and D&G and Ryokun. Take a breath. Tamaki chuckled, his own cheeks baked whilst he turned those fond, shy eyes towards him. He becomes very excited at the thought of helping others, he told him whilst the blonde giggled sheepishly with a little cheeky-winked apology. That's why he's going to become a wonderful hero someday, he furthered kindly. Regarding the slightly shorter boy owlishly, the ice quirk wielder turned back to the now preening Muriel, his brows reaching for his hairline. Helping others. Wanting to help others. Was that what a real hero was? Not so good. Sorry, I didn't mean to pressure you or anything, the other stated, effectively cutting through his thoughts. I can be a little, what the show do you call it? Exuberant at times. So if I'm being OTT, just let me know, okay? He grinned. The truth is, well, we, all of us, have been so looking forward to meeting you guys for such a long time, but with me, you and Tama could be in the same age, I'd just really like for us to be friends, because, well, we're almost teenagers, and being a teenager means kind of tough, he proclaimed. That's why I figured that, although we'll all be sticking together, the three of us, we should be looking out for one another, right? If you want to. It's totally fine if you don't. I want to, he heard himself say, his eyes widening a touch before he cast his doubts aside and nodded at each of the younger boys in turn. I'd really like to have you both as friends. Arriving at UA, Aizawa Tomra exited the minibus with Spinner, the pair of them closing the doors since they were the last ones out. With them being in the underground parking lot, they could happily leave their bags and other non-essential things behind, and after sharing a triumphant grin, they slowly started to follow the larger group of people down the now-familiar trek, which would lead to now-familiar elevators and a stairwell. It's quite a relief to have them all here finally, huh? The Gecko Quirk boy mused pleasantly after River relieved, his hands laced behind his head of long fuchsia hair. Tabby looks beyond happy, doesn't he? Yeah, he returned, his smile brightening a touch. Not that I had any doubts about today, but look at what we've done it. I never thought, especially when I was the Smalls age, that I'd ever do something that's meaningful and important. Well, for the good of others, anyway. He admitted with a mild shrug. It's pretty amazing, isn't it? Dude, we are pretty amazing. The taller grinned through his knicker. And speaking of which, did you tell Cat Dad about your full scholarship to MU yet? Or how you're being all dabby about it and keeping it treasured till later? He furthered with a knowing grin. Because I'm pretty sure both of you getting on the courses you wanted is something Joe wouldn't be able to stop fussing about. Especially since neither of you want to leave your home for the dorms. So says the guy who's joining the fire brigade next month after passing his entrance exam with flying colors. I think a certain emerald-haired wonder boy would be gushing all over you if you let that cat out of the bag, especially since Joe will have no problem with you moving into our apartment. The other cut in with a fond roll of his eyes. Touche. No, you sure you don't mind having me in your old room? I mean, I know that you stay with Tabby most nights and oh, stop leering. But pure my sexual eyes can't take that. He almost squealed back, his hands mock waving the other away before both of them broke into giggles and smiled at each other. In all seriousness, though, I try not to brag or anything, but future's looking pretty fucking good right now, ain't it? That it is. Tomra sighed, his heart full and warm. That it is. After everyone agreed that a tour of the currently closed campus could wait until tomorrow, Principal Nezu proudly walked them toward the Sanctuary Heights block after they'd scooted down the multiple roads and pathways on golf carts. I think you'll find your room sizes are ample, and as I explained to you earlier, through that truly delightful video our Junior Cafe League members made for you,
You'll have access to counselors as and when you need them outside of the sessions we've arranged. We have a small kitchen with staff to tend to your meals, and you can be tutored on site full-time or until you're ready to try actual school, all right?
Fuyumi was in awe of everything. Really, she would have preferred to simply live with her mother, but she knew and understood that as much as she wanted that, reality dictated that they'd have to wait. Her mother had been unwell. She had her chodo. However, she'd also been cleared to be around children by 2 psychologists. She was updating her credentials. She was working hard to become whole again. She was crafting a resume. Her girlhood ambition of becoming a hero sadly lost. She'd become progressively more interested in floristry, which, as luck would have it, was something that their new grandmother was mentoring her in with great success. Plus, her new family were already working to make her new dream a reality. Toshiji, who'd smiled, winked, and spoke to them through the incredibly informative video, had promised as much. And she'd be able to help source the flowers, tend to the plants, and nurture the seedlings, too.
Okay, so as you can see, there are 3 floors. Now, let's get up these stairs so you can try your key cards, ne?
Gasping, Fuyumi found herself grabbing at Totoya's Dabi's right arm, her eyes glittering as the double glass-fronted door slid open when Natsuo swiped the seemingly innocuous plastic keycard over a black pad next to them. A pad that could also scan their hands or open up to scan their retinas as well. "Oh, wow!" she cooed as a group walked in. Inko-san, Mitsuki-san, along with Mimi-chan and her girls, walked in after them and, alongside the younger children, started to fan out and assist the principal in showing off everything they had at their disposal. The ground floor is split into a living space complete with widescreen TV and comfy sofas, a study area, the gaming zone, a kitchen where your caregivers will be seeing to meals with optional cooking lessons, should you wish to try. There's quiet spaces with aromatherapy settings for relaxation and distress purposes too, plus a music room and for private counseling rooms. She'd never seen such a setup. This was like living in a luxury hotel. We could also arrange for you to use the UA gymnasiums, swimming pools, and saunas if you'd like. Just let either Kojima-san, Ono-san, or Yokoyama-san, as one of these amazing people, will always be in sight at any given time. In fact, we have the staff rota on the wall right here with their contact numbers, emails, and profiles, so you know who you're talking to or who you need to call should you have any questions, queries, or concerns that your fellow nobodies can't answer, okay? Looking around, she couldn't believe her eyes.
"It's pretty amazing,
Blinking, she looked up at Usajiyama-san as she and Tatsuma-san moved to speak to her and smiled. "Yes!" she replied fondly, her smile a little shy. She'd never even spoken to any women other than her mother and Watanabe-san before today. Well, not really, anyway.
"Ooh, we're gonna have so much fun, you know?"
The rabbit-corked pro hero in training preened.
"We can have mini sleepovers, talk about boys or girls if you're into such things. Oh, and I'm going to teach you all my best moves because Tamaki-kun said you rocked your match against him, but didn't knock him on his ass. We're going to change that. If you want to, that is."
She grinned whilst the pale blonde beside her coughed a touch.
"Rumi-chan is right," she said politely, a fang peeking out between her smiling lips. "We want to be here for you, Fuyumi-chan, just like all of our other friends were here for us when we first came here." She furthered her form serene. "I'd very much like to think of you as a little sister, if that's not too forward of me." "Oh, me too," the caramel skin tournament winner preened, her crimson eyes sparkling. "I've always wanted a younger sister." She grinned, her enthusiasm as thrilling as it was contagious. I would really, really like that," she heard herself say, the older girls cheering at her admittance before a laugh bubbling up and out of her abdomen as the ivory-haired figure whisked her up and into her arms, whilst loudly proclaiming, "Damikun! She's our little sister too now, so we're going to be stealing her for all kinds of hijinks and shenanigans. Okay!"